Okay. One, two, three, four. Do, ba, do, ba, do, do.
Nerds.
That's it. That's the one.
I like it.
Welcome.
I'm super pumped for this episode.
Me too. We should probably welcome everybody first
Oh, yeah. Welcome, everyone, to our podcast.
to episode 2 of the potty.
Woo!
Yee, yee, yee.
Everybody
Real quick,
dance.
like and subscribe, all that stuff, so we can just get into it. Okay.
Okay, well, let's start it out. Do you want to explain like a 5-minute recap of what Avatar The Last Airbender is about for those that
Five
haven't seen it?
minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Oh no, you said 5 minutes. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. Oh, oh no. But when the world needed it most, he vanished. How's it go? I forgot.
I don't remember.
100 years passed since the Avatar vanished because I can't remember that part. And my brother and I discovered a new Avatar, an Airbender named Aang or Ong. Ooh, we'll talk about that. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Aang can save the world.
Do,
Boo,
do,
boo,
do,
boo,
do.
boo. Oh, we're gonna get hit with copyright.
We're too small for that.
That's true. Well, I mean that baby reveal video I did using Imagine Dragons Thunder got hit with copyright.
No way.
Yeah, but I mean it's not a monetized channel, so it doesn't matter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so
Starting off strong.
yeah, that's the first one. Avatar Last Airbender, in a nutshell, is a world where there are four nations, and each nation, interesting enough, they're not all nations. Only one of them is actually a nation. We got a nation, we got a kingdom, we got a tribe, two tribes technically, and we got nomads. So there's only one nation. Anyway, each nation can bend a different element. They can manipulate elements. You got air, you got water, you got earth, and you got fire. And when like they can manipulate the elements, they can like make them do what they want. Okay, that's a basic background. Now you go with like what the story's about.
Okay, so Avatar The
You
Last
said it.
Airbender.
You said queso.
Dang it. All right, everybody, here we go. The Avatar The Last Airbender starts with Aang, who is found by a brother and sister named Sokka and Katara. Oh, can you see him? Sokka and
That's
Katara.
Katara. Okay.
Sokka and Katara. They find Aang in an iceberg. He's been frozen for 100 years. And they find out that Aang was afraid to become the Avatar, so he ran away and ended up getting caught in a storm. And to preserve himself, he froze himself in an iceberg. And he did this by using special powers that are only given to the Avatar, which are Avatar powers, I think is what they honestly call it.
Why is he called the Avatar?
He's called the Avatar because he has a special ability where he can bend all four elements and it rotates. So after Aang dies, it goes to a new Avatar, and it's been doing that pretty much ever since the existence of their realm. Anyway, so these brothers and sisters tell Aang that after he left, the Fire Nation sort of went on a rampage. You know, we have big bad boss over here, Fire Ozai. Him and his father took over all the other nations. And there's a lot of like little stories in between, but essentially he's the big bad guy. And Aang over here with his flying lemur, Momo, and his friends, they all go and destroy Ozai. That's essentially a super watered down version, but through his special powers, he's able to become the person he was destined to be all along.
Boom. I
Go
don't know if we
crazy.
necessarily need to talk about that, but I guess there's probably some people out there who haven't seen Last Airbender yet, so maybe it was good.
We'll try to do that fancy YouTube thing where you can skip ahead.
If you can figure out how to do it, yeah. Hashtag low tech.
The mics are working pretty good though.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's our budget right there. Yeah. So that is Avatar Last Airbender. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It is so good. Um, Funny enough, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this. And I think it might be the same for you because you were there with me. I was introduced to Avatar The Last Airbender through the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yes. Oh, I remember this. It was a Saturday, and you woke me up
No, no, no.
early.
It was Tuesday
Oh, it was. Oh, because it was
and
it
it
was a
was
cheap
nighttime.
Tuesday.
It was Dollar Movie Tuesday.
Okay, but I think the waking up part is still relevant. I think I was taking a nap, and you woke me up. I got that part right. And you were like, "Hey, we're gonna go. There's this movie I want to go watch. I'm really interested in it. Do you want to go with me?" And I was young enough. I was like, "You paying?" And you were like, "Yep."
I paid $1 for you?
I know. I'll pay you back one day. We'll see how
Wow.
this podcast does. If it does well, I'll take you out.
Well, yeah, if it goes well, first paycheck, you're giving me $1. I'm getting $1 more than you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we watched the M. Night Shyamalan thing, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Such a cool concept. And then we went to the library and got
Yeah.
the DVDs because we grew up without cable. We weren't able to watch it real time. So we got into Last Airbender way later than everybody else.
Yeah, they were really holding on to that Nickelodeon. They didn't put that on Saturday cartoons. Big old
Yeah.
jerks.
Nickelodeon. More like Quarterlodeon with the way they're hoarding that money.
Yeah, funny enough, I remember after we got it from the library, we binged it in 3 days, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we went to our family reunion late because of it.
Yeah, sorry. If anybody hears that from our family, it was worth it.
Okay, I mean, the family reunion started on a Thursday that year for some reason, I think, and we showed up Friday morning. So,
Yeah. I mean,
I
we
mean,
still made it.
we were still on time. We still had fun.
Yeah. We watched it until like, I don't know, probably like 4 a.m. I remember
Yeah,
that. And then we like woke up at like 8. That's how
yeah. It
excited we were about it.
was so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And we were
Yeah.
lucky enough to be a part of like those people who got to see it all in like one sitting rather than waiting.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't have to wait like all those other Nickelodeon viewers.
Yeah.
But I will say, after having watched the cartoon, that I like the cartoon so much more than the M. Night Shyamalan. I can't even watch the M. Night Shyamalan one now.
And why is that? Why like what's your number one reason for not wanting to watch it?
I mean, plain and simple, they didn't keep it true to the cartoon. Like, I mean, Ong, who cares? Like, it's not Ong, it's Aang.
Yeah.
And like they called Sokka Soka, they called Iroh Iro. You know, I know a lot of people didn't like the casting for it, but like I honestly could care less about the casting.
Yeah,
It's
they actually dipped into the Twilight jar there. They got Jasper to play Sokka.
Soka.
Yeah.
Jasper played Soka.
Tomato tomato.
Tomato potato. No, I'm really excited for the new live action that's coming out on Netflix though.
Yeah, me too. I've been seeing the cast that they put out for it, and I'm actually super pumped for it. They've stayed like close to like the racial ethnicity of it, and like the characters are also lovers of the show, which I think is huge because if you get people who are just there as like a job, I don't think it's as cool.
Yeah. I think the guy who's playing the Fire Lord is the guy who played Han in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I think you're right. No, it's a guy off of Lost.
I
You
don't
haven't
know.
seen it. You haven't seen.
No,
It's
I
not
haven't.
Han, but I think Han is in it.
Okay. I thought it was the guy. Oh well. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I think my grief with the M. Night Shyamalan one is when they did bending in the show, it's so power in the cartoon, sorry, in the cartoon, it's so powerful. Like obviously in the beginning they're learning their powers. So like Katara, is like pushing and pulling the waves and it's like barely moving. But then by the end of it, she's able to like stop the rain mid fall. And all she does that is like a flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
But then in the movie, to throw a rock, they need like 10 guys.
Okay, I think that's actually a perspective issue. I get bugged when people talk about this because like they show like 10 guys doing the dance and then they show one rock floating, but I think that one rock is actually manipulated by the next guy that shows up in the foreground.
Okay. Okay,
But
I could see
it's
that.
still you don't have to do a dance in the cartoon. Like you just do this and the rock goes up. Like
I mean, look at Toph. Look at Toph over here. Over here. Right. Boom. Mm, mm, right there.
yeah, I
Look at
can't really
her.
see what she's doing. I just see that she's there.
She's stomping the ground. Which, by the way, do you mind if I like take it to Toph?
Okay. I do have like a small little outline because you told me to do that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But no, let's talk about Toph. Like I like when we run out of things, then I'll run to it.
Okay, well, the only reason I'm so excited to talk about Toph is because she's my absolute favorite character. I think
Who doesn't love Toph? Let's be real.
if you don't love Toph, you hate blind people. And here's the reason.
Oh, we went there.
Here's the reason. Toph's blind. That's why I said it. So Toph has been underestimated her whole life, even by her parents. And not that mom and dad underestimated me. I'm not relating that to myself. But Toph has like really overcome a lot. And I think it was the first time that I saw a show use a disability to their advantage and make her literally the strongest character other than Aang.
Yeah, that's well. Okay, actually, I do have a question about this, I think. Let me go see. Yes, I do.
What is
Is
it?
Toph really the strongest? Here is my question. Who would win in a bending battle, Toph or King Bumi? And
Oh.
why?
Wait,
Here's
okay.
the
Oh,
thing. Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, but here's my question to clarify it. Are we taking Toph in The Last Airbender or are we taking adult Toph?
I might get some hate for this, but I feel like adult Toph and youth Toph are about the same. Unless like you're considering like the whole metal bending thing.
That's what I would be considering because to be honest, if it was straight Earth, probably Boomy based on experience. But if it's adult Toph can like manipulate that metal and stuff, which I think would give her the advantage over Boomy.
Here's the thing. I think Boomy would still win.
Well, he does eat rocks.
It's candy. Okay, here's my thoughts with it. Toph is freaking powerful, you know. She mastered the third Jing or whatever,
Hmm.
you know, which was like waiting and then reacting or whatever.
Yeah,
But Boomy, it's implied that he's also mastered that.
that's true.
I I don't think that's a Toph specific thing.
I agree with you on that, especially since he was the one who sent Aang to find Toph.
Yeah. Also, dude lived just as long as Aang. He like Aang is technically 112 years old. So is Boomy.
That's crazy.
But
Maybe
the
I should
thing
start
is,
eating rocks.
seriously, but Boomy didn't live in an iceberg for 100 years. He like led a freaking Earth Kingdom and probably learned a bunch of styles. And like when you consider the Cave of Two Lovers and how like those two lovers learned from the Badger Moles, just like Toph did.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a story about Omashu, and he's the king of Omashu. So I would assume that he probably has learned Badger style bending.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So, oh my gosh, I guess I've never really thought about that.
yeah,
I
and
guess
like, oh, go ahead.
I guess when you think about these characters, like all the other characters, like they sort of learn from their people, right? Because like Toph learned from the Badgers. But I'm
Mhm.
now just realizing that Aang has an air bison and they're the original airbenders.
Yeah,
So holy schmoly, I don't think I realized that the crew or whatever, the original, what do they call it? I forgot.
the gang.
Yeah, the gang, I guess.
It's
They
GAANG gang. No, it
I
really is. It really is.
know, I like it. I guess like I didn't realize that because they all learned from it. Zuko learned from a dragon.
Yeah.
And so like I guess did Katara what would oh I guess the moon. Yue, she learned from Yue.
Well,
Does that count?
I don't think that counts. I mean, I I think all of them definitely have their respective masters. Like Katara's is Grandpaku and
Also known as what again?
Master Paku. Oh, Master Poophead. Yeah, and Zuko has Iroh. Even Sokka has, I forgot his name, like Ta Long or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's probably wrong.
Well, we're average.
Yeah, we're failing nerds, I thought.
Getting
Actually,
up
yeah,
there.
last time you mentioned how you got 11 out of 20 right on the Office thing. That is a failing grade. So,
Well, should I tell everyone now that I failed math too? Does it matter?
yes, I didn't fail math. I got a D. Anyway, who else? Oh, Aang. He has Gyatso. But Toph's true master is the Badger. But what I'm getting at is Boomy definitely probably learned from the Badgers. And like, okay, here's the thing. Bro took over Omashu single-handedly during an 8-minute eclipse.
Yeah,
That's wild.
there were a lot of soldiers there too, weren't there?
Yeah, and he like, I mean, the Fire Nation stuff was all built out of metal, and sure, Toph can manipulate the metal, but like he just manipulated the earth around the metal and was stronger than the metal with his earth.
I see your point. I agree. I think that King Bumi would beat Toph in a battle.
Yeah, there is. It's settled. Boomy is the strongest.
Besides Aang, obviously, the Avatar.
Well, okay, besides Aang in the Avatar state. So another question I had, what kind of bender would you be and why? Basically, which nation would you be from?
Okay, well, should I say the one that I actually want to be from, or should I say the one that you always counter with?
No, say the one that you want to be from, and I'll say what I think you are.
Me personally, I definitely want to be an earthbender. Obviously, Toph is my favorite. I want to be her. I want to be able to like say like I feel like that's me. I feel like I'm short. I feel like I'm spunky. I feel like I'm down to earth, literally. And I feel like when I face problems, I like to face them strong and head on. And I feel like that to me is like a definition of which bender I would be. However, on that counterpoint, you
You're a water
always,
bender.
yeah, you always say I'm a waterbender. And I
I
think
mean,
that's
look
the
at that
dumbest
emotion.
thing.
Look at that
Okay.
emotion coming out right now.
Okay.
I mean, the two emotional bending styles are fire and water, and you're more of a waterbender.
Okay. Katara is a waterbender, right? And she's like the main waterbender, and she's always crying. And
My
I just,
mom. I used to have a mom. Yeah, so did Sokka, and you don't see him crying about it.
yeah, he uses humor to cover up his pain. And that's, I guess, what I would do if I lost my mom. But like, he's not an actual waterbender. He was born a non-bender. So I, I don't think I would be a waterbender.
I think he'd be a waterbender.
I don't know.
But
I
here's the thing. I do feel like in real life it's more of a spectrum. And I,
yeah.
I think you would be a waterbender leaning to Earth.
If anything, if I were a waterbender, let's say that I don't know how, but I finally figured out that I was a waterbender. I think I would be raised by earthbenders.
So you would be a swamp bender.
Oh, I take it back. I take it back. I'll be a waterbender. Okay, what about you? What would you be? What bender would you be?
Earthbender, 100%.
Okay. I
I
think you're a
mean,
firebender.
no,
Why?
I don't get that angry.
It's not about anger. It's about passion.
Yeah, but it's also like there's an energy that firebenders have, and like I'm a very sedentary individual.
I don't know.
Like,
I could argue that I think that your passion would make you a firebender, but you're wearing
see,
green, so it makes me inclined to say that you're an earthbender.
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I feel like I feel like my personality is very polar in that sometimes I feel like an earthbender and sometimes I feel like an airbender. And on both of them, I feel like I lean fire. So it's like, yeah, I could say fire. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like my dominant personality is earthbender. It's kind of like for you, I would say that you fluctuate between water and fire. So it would be easy to say that you're actually earth, because I'd
Yeah.
say you float earth on both of them. But I feel like your dominant is water.
What do you think was the boldest like move, unexpected thing that even now as an adult that you're surprised that they added in a kid's cartoon.
Ah, and you're gonna go first on this one because I can't think of one.
Yeah, I can because I thought about it earlier. They have genocide in it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right.
It's so subtle and so small that you don't really like think about it, but it's there.
Yeah,
And it's like, so for like when they go back to the Airbender nation, they don't show the actual genocide except for Gyatso's body.
that's true.
And it has like the Airbender medallion that is passed down to Airbender Masters, which Aang does take. He has in the last episode, which I think is important. But like, what screams villain that other than like genocide?
Yeah, that's true. Also, the dude who started the genocide was the Avatar's best friend. How crazy is that?
Seriously. Like even now, like it boggles my mind that they were able to do that and it was okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably when Aang fused with the ocean spirit and just went ham on all of the firebenders.
Yeah, you just saw people die.
Yeah, especially Commander Zhao. Like that was a specific hate crime from the ocean spirit only. Aang wasn't with it at that time, I don't think.
Nah, I don't think so. You're right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. God Slayer got slayed by a god. Take that. Or Spirit Slayer. Was it Spirit Slayer? Probably Spirit Slayer.
Probably Spirit Slayer, yeah.
Yeah. But wow, yeah, you're totally right. Which I actually like came across this like theory about Gyatso and his death.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of taken from like what I forgot the bad guy's name in Legend of Korra season 3, but the guy who becomes an airbender, he sucks the air out of the Earth Queen's lungs.
Yeah.
Starts with a Z. Can't remember his name.
Zahir.
Yeah, as a here. I think the theory was kind of born out of him doing that. If you like look at Gyatso and see how many firebenders are right there, like it's wild. And it's like you almost think like how come Gyatso died if he was able to kill that many firebenders during Sozin's comet.
That man must have been wild. Honestly, that's probably why they didn't show it. Like
Oh,
the
check this out.
what?
Someone figured out why they think it happened. You
What? Now I'm
ready?
excited. Yes.
What is one of the most ingredients, their most important ingredients for fire?
Oxygen. Oh my gosh.
Oxygen. Yeah. And we know that airbenders can create a vacuum where there's no oxygen. That's how the Earth Queen died. So for Gyatso to kill that many firebenders during the comet, the theory is that he just created this massive vacuum where they couldn't create fire even with the comet. Thus, they couldn't breathe either. So they all died, but in the process, he suffocated himself.
Oh my gosh. That like literal chills. If I wasn't wearing long sleeves, I'd show you. There's goosebumps.
Isn't that nuts?
What? Holy. If here's the thing, Gyat's is a monk, right? So like his whole life he's given stuff, given
Mm-hmm.
his life, his like time, everything. So it would make sense. It
Yeah.
fits.
Isn't that
Wow.
just the coolest thing ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, dude, Gyatso is freaking dope.
Yeah.
It's like I would be okay if they had a Gyatso show.
Yeah, I would watch it.
Yeah, that would be really cool if you think about it. If they had like an Avatar story where it didn't follow the Avatar.
That's something I think that they should do that. I think they should do like stories. Not like see, so they've been doing seasons, right? Of like different stories.
Mm-hmm.
But it would sort of be cool if they did like stories of people that we've heard about, but we've never really like seen.
Haru. I think it'd be cool if you could follow Haru for a little bit.
Or maybe let's check in on Jet. Is he dead? Is he not?
You know, they left
Did
it
they
very
just kill him?
unclear. Okay,
Speaking
that's the
of,
thing though. They never say kill in the show.
oh, that is true. It is a kids show.
It's a
It
kid
is a
show.
kids
They
show.
never say kill.
But I will say this: I have never cried in a kids show more than I have in Avatar. Ugh. Yeah. Why would I even try to make a case that I'm an airbender or an earthbender?
Right?
Okay, but
What are you crying about though? Jet? Dude sucks.
no, Iroh's son.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So like when Iroh, okay, so the literal actor when he passed away, I forgot his name, and I'm
yeah.
sorry about that.
Mako.
Oh, it's Mako. Why would
Yeah.
I not know that? Mako when he passed away, then they did that tribute episode. Oh, that episode just tears me apart. Or
Yeah.
okay, legitimately this part, and I will cry if I watch it in like like a quiet place. But if there's other people there, I won't cry. But when Zuko comes back for his redemption arc, and he just
Mm.
like gives everything and like kneels in front of his uncle, and he's like, "I'm sorry that I didn't listen to you."
Well, that's an interesting thing too, because it directly parallels when he kneels in front of his father in the Agni Kai. He's
Yeah,
asking his dad for forgiveness, and his dad's like, "Oh, you'll learn forgiveness," and then he freaking burns him. Which,
and
like, he can manipulate fire. Zuko can.
yeah,
So, like, the amount of power his dad had to put onto his face is nuts. So he was probably expecting something like that, especially because Iroh is Ozai's brother. Like, they were raised the same.
I have a I saw this thing about the Agni Kai. When Ozai banishes Zuko, he basically gives him an impossible task. So, like, for Zuko, it's insane that he holds on to hope that he might be able to catch the Avatar. But to Ozai, in Ozai's mind, he is the most powerful. He's the smartest guy out there. If anyone were to find the Avatar, it would have been Ozai. So, in Ozai's mind, when he tells Zuko, go find the Avatar and you can return your honor, he knows that it's an impossible task. So, essentially, Ozai is saying, you're not my son anymore.
Dang. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Man, Luke Skywalker fell hard.
He voices him, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mark
Yeah.
Hamill plays the voice.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
have
Well,
a
oh, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say I have another theory that I wanted to bring up since we're talking about theories.
Do it.
Okay, so
Do
I
it.
thanks, Emperor Palpatine. I saw a theory that said Princess Yue, you know how she like gave up her spirit to be the new moon spirit?
Yeah.
I saw a theory that said that um the reason that she had to give up her spirit to be something greater is because if Aang had died when he was supposed to and they were looking for the next waterbender, it would have been her because she needed the avatar spirit to live.
Okay. Okay. Are we saying that if there was no genocide
Hmm.
and Aang lived a full life,
Yeah.
he would have died and then Yue would have been the next one? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Or are you saying that Aang should have died in the genocide and then the next avatar would have been her?
No, no, no. If Aang had been the avatar that he was supposed to be and
Okay,
he
okay.
stayed there and they were able to train him up, because here's the thing, he didn't like, was it? Well, maybe I have it wrong. If Aang like had stayed, was Sozin's comet the next day or was it a little bit after Aang left?
I would assume it's a little bit after.
Okay, so then yeah, if Aang had stayed, gotten the proper training that he needed to become the rightful avatar, defeated the Fire Nation, showed him what's up, then he was able to live that long life. Then the next avatar, because following the circle, right?
Mhm.
It goes to a waterbender. So Princess Yue was meant for something greater. And they even said that she was going to die at birth and they borrowed the spirit of half of the moon
Interesting.
spirit.
So the theory is that she was born without a spirit because her spirit should have been Rava.
Yes! Isn't that
Whoa,
sick?
that's cool.
Oh man, I don't know if that's
Wow.
true, but if the writers are like listening to this, which they probably wouldn't, but hey, maybe, I don't know. And they were like, "Oh, that was just a coincidence, you know?" Like that would have been so sick.
That's really cool. I've heard people say that Katara was supposed to be the Avatar because she's so powerful. Like she really is Avatar level power when it comes to waterbending.
I genuinely believe if Aang didn't go into the Avatar state and only did waterbending, I think Katara could beat him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And oh, well, this is just a little off tangent. It's about Legend of Korra.
Let's dive. Let's take a dip.
Okay, I am so mad that they only made Katara a healer in Legend of Korra because she was such a powerful fighter. So that's
Oh, I
just
yeah, but I mean they kind of do the same thing with Toph, where she's like, no, it's the young kid's turn to save the day or whatever.
yeah, and I think that's a little bold because in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the White Lotus is made up of old fighters, masters of their bending or their fighting style, who came to help. So like, come on, but they release it on the sideline. I don't know.
Yeah, but also I think it is implied in Korra that Katara was her waterbending master.
Well, yeah, but like, if you're a master of something and you see that your like Padawan or your mentee is literally being like destroyed enough to be crippled in a wheelchair, wouldn't you want to just step in a little bit?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, Yoda tried to kill his Padawan.
I guess there's different styles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Katara, something I wanted to talk about, Zutarra. Okay. You're muted, and that's funny.
I almost spit my water. I was taking a drink of water and I almost just spit it out.
Okay, so Zutarra, for anyone not aware, is the people who think that Katara should have ended up with Zuko. What what do you think about it? I think you already know what I think about it.
Ugh. Okay. I read fan fiction, right? So like I've read some of the stuff that like how they get together and I just don't see it. And here's the reason why, right? I think Katara has too much emotion for Zuko's passion. And I think they're just water and oil, literally water and well, fire, but you know what I mean? Like I
I'm an
I
oil bender.
I think that their personalities just don't match. Where because Katara is just so empathetic and Zuko is none of that. So I think that they would really struggle as like
I
a
mean,
couple dynamic.
Zuko literally went for the only girl in the series who has no emotion.
Well, what do you think? Do you think that Zutara would have been a thing?
I hate Zutara. I hate Dramione. I feel like people just are like, oh, I want the good girl to be with the bad boy. And it's like, no, that's not how it like first of all, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
And it's like when you take a second to think about it, like I mean, Katara's mom dying from the Fire Nation is a huge thing. And like I don't think she ever really could forgive the Fire Nation enough to marry someone from the Fire Nation.
Well, that also brings up the fact that Zuko doesn't have a mom, so therefore there'd be too many mommy issues.
He does have a mom.
Well, oh, whoa, that's not in the
Whoa.
series.
Read the book, guys.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's kind of implied at the very last episode when he goes to his dad in jail and he's like, where's my mother?
but what I mean is like he didn't grow up with a mom, so obviously like there's a lot of like resounding issues there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like I get that that some people feel that it just came out of nowhere for Katara and Aang to have a thing, but it's like I mean it was like literally prophesied or whatever by that lady where they like change the clouds, and I know the whole point of that was like she can't actually see the future,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, you can tell that Katara started to see him as more than a little brother figure.
Yeah. I well, because they did build it up, and also Katara saved Aang's life.
Yeah,
So like,
well, and he saved her life too.
yeah. So I mean, it's hard. Like, imagine how many fantasies there are about a firefighter coming to save you, and then you fall in love, or I don't know why I didn't say this one: a prince saving a princess, or a princess saving a prince. Like that's like the number one trope in all of like romances. So
Yeah,
I mean, come on, I mean, come on,
come on,
come on,
come on.
come on.
I mean, if you okay, I feel like it's okay for the shippers to dive into the whole soccer realm, you know,
Yeah. Well, he.
because it's like, I mean, yeah, we all know there's the whole Sokka Suki thing, but like he never really got over Yue. Let's be real.
Oh, who gets over their first love?
I married my first love.
Me too.
But yeah, like yeah, he's got Suki. A lot of people think that Sokka and Toph had a kid. Uh,
I sort of believe it. I sort of believe it.
She looks like Sokka.
And their mannerisms are the same. Oh, I believe it.
And the Sokka's alleged grandkids have his same hairstyle and look just like him, but with earthbending eyes.
I'm telling you, I believe it.
I believe
I
it too.
believe it.
And like, I mean, there's also the whole Ty Lee. Like, I could see him being with Ty Lee.
Oh, that would be such a fun couple. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think Sokka just got around, honestly.
Well, if a man is willing to hold a rose in between his teeth for a woman, I feel
Knowing
like
full well that Toph's feet are on the ground and can tell what's going on in that tent.
that'd be so weird. Toph would know when everyone went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Poor Toph.
Poor Toph.
The only way she could get away from it is if she just rested her feet for a little.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you.
I have an
Um,
answer.
what would you have wanted to see? If there's something that you could like add to the series, what would it be?
Oof. I mean, obviously more airbending. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they kill it. They do so well. Like I think what would be kind of neat would be to see the waterbending culture in the Southern Tribe. We don't really get to see that.
Yeah. Also, I think I would want a little bit more background of why the North tribe is like so much better than the South. Like
I I
I know
think
that
it's just
the
kind of implied that the North has a city and the South is more like villages.
yeah, but like why? Like what's the structure behind that? Where's that coming from? I know that
That's
it's
true.
such a big world, but I think from my personal like stance of like why would you just let them just perish, you know?
Yeah. Well, also, I don't know. It sounds like I'm taking the Fire Nation side here, but like, if you were gonna go, like, okay, so you just killed off all the air nomads, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, now we know that it's the Avatar is gonna be born in a water tribe. Um, you're probably not gonna want to split your fleet up, you know. So they probably just went full force on the Southern Water Tribe. They probably gambled, 50% of where the Avatar is going to be born, either north or south, and they probably just gambled on the south and just wiped everyone out. Or maybe there's more to the cycle than we know, where like the last waterbending Avatar was from the northern tribe, so like the next one would have to come from the southern tribe.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at. That makes sense because if they think that the Avatar did die, that makes sense why they went after the Southern Water tribe because that's where it would be, which Katara was from the Southern Water tribe.
Well, so was Korra, but the theory of Yue though being the next Avatar, she's from the northern tribe. So I think it's more they gambled on the southern water tribe.
Yeah, especially since my theory that I brought up about UA is definitely concrete in my mind as fact.
Oh yeah, like I'm just so blown away with that. Like, yeah, duh.
Yeah, duh.
Could you imagine a story though where they did wipe out the Avatar with the air nomads, and then they wiped out the Southern Water Tribe and the Northern Water Tribe, but the Avatar was born with the Swamp Benders?
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be
That would
pretty
be really
cool.
cool. It would also be cool a little bit to see like an airbender like born in that case, right? Like let's say that they follow that. So it's a swamp bender and then it would go to an earthbender, but let's say like the earthbender is just like some regular Joe Schmo. But then after that, an airbender who's from the earth tribe. So he's like opposite of all of his family and friends. That'd be sort of sick.
Are you saying because of like in Korra they like came back?
Well, I mean, that's just a cycle, right? So it goes like water, earth, air,
Well, you
fire.
skipped fire. No, it goes fire air.
Oh, well, eventually it would have been cool to see an airbender from the Earth Kingdom.
Well, I mean, and they are nomads. Like, I kind of wonder if they're a little bit like Jedi, where if a baby is born and they had airbending abilities, they just sent them to the nearest air temple.
Which would be so tough. But you're right, because they don't ever mention like Aang's Earth family, I guess.
Well, we don't know if he came from an Earth family or what. Like, I mean,
I mean,
for
like mom and
simplicity's
dad
sake.
birth. I meant birth, but I said Earth.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, there is theory that Ty Lee's family is descended from the air acolytes.
Oh,
Because she has gray eyes, she doesn't have black hair, she has brown hair, and she's very free spirited, and she's like very good at like gymnastics and stuff. Like,
whoa,
yeah, so it would make sense that she might be descended from an air acolyte family.
wow.
Yeah. Because I mean they wiped out the airbenders, not the air acolytes. So
See, maybe that's something that they could have done is brought in
I don't
like
know.
the air nations. Oh, either way, overall, I think it's just a beautiful series.
So good. Again, everyone listening, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I don't know where you watch it.
Netflix is actually on Netflix right now.
Oh, hey, oh, do you need a VPN?
No, Netflix actually got rid of that. They said that they were gonna. This is funny. I guess I could do this part of the news thing.
Should we start wrapping up and go on with our nerd news roundup?
Sure. I don't have like a ton of news, but sure.
I've got a couple, or at least one. So yeah, nerd news roundup. That's it. Go.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, this is old news, but I'll say it because we were talking about it anyway. Netflix, a couple months ago, they were like, hey, everybody, we're going to start really tightening the reins because we pretty much hit our max customers during COVID. Everyone, we're not going to allow you to share passwords anymore. It's going to be like one household. And if you're too far away, we're going to say, no way, Jose. And so they did that. And all these people started canceling their Netflix accounts. And like TikTok especially was going like, okay, yeah, like we need you. Look how many streaming services there are.
Yeah, if
And
you
then
got Disney Plus.
and so Netflix comes out and they're like, hey guys, we made a whoopsie. Okay. We meant it's gonna start internationally and then maybe, we don't know, maybe it'll move to the United States. So they're actually not doing it. So you guys, if you want Netflix, go ahead, take it back and share it with your friends anywhere they are. It's totally fine.
For now.
For, for now. But hey, I mean, use it while you got it, right? Like why throw away something that's not broken yet?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So go watch it on Netflix, guys. It's so good. Or if you live near me, I own every single season on DVD.
I own it on Blu-ray.
Hey, fancy pants.
Yeah.
Um, just in case I forget, queso, 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 queso.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to edit that.
Okay, my nerd news roundup. And it feels kind of Airbender related. Um, Dragon Prince season 5 coming out this summer.
This summer they
This
just
summer.
released one in November.
I know, and we had to wait like 2 years for that one. Cool. Well, I feel like we could talk about Avatar for years.
Yeah, me too.
So we'll put a pin in it and circle back sometime.
Yeah, and maybe we'll talk about something more specific. Like maybe we'll just talk about like the dichotomy of like and the pull and balances of the nations.
Yeah, after I look up what dichotomy means.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate you.
Like and subscribe, and we'd like to give a special shout out to our sponsors. We have none, so maybe one day.
Wow.
Nerd.